What's up, everybody? AMF here. Looks like game time for the Washington-Oregon games, but a mere 11 and a half hours away. And let me say something right now. I've been waiting for this matchup for months, for multiple reasons. One of which being, I'm trying to figure out what team's fans I hate more. Do I hate Oregon State's fans more because the fact that they're the Ducks' rivals? Or do I hate Washington fans more because of the fact that they're douchebags and they're so incredibly delusional, thinking that even though their team hasn't had a winning season since 2002, I think, that the fact that they were, good back in the 90s and like the first couple of years of the millennium, that all of that transcends their consecutive losing seasons and their lack of a bowl appearance since 2002. It's just retarded. And there's two people that I'm talking about in specific, and I would like to point them out. One's name is Crescent Bay. Yeah, Crescent Bay. And the other one's name is U of Zero Yucks. Very creative. Very creative. So, I'm on ESPN's, blogs all the time for college football and this and that and the other. And every time there's a Pac-10 blog about, the Ducks or something, those two always have shit to say. Every time. And it's always the same argument. Oh, well, Washington has more Rose Bowl wins than you. They have a national title and you don't. And that seems to be the only argument that they have. Oh, and the Ducks, they just have a bunch of money and weird-looking uniforms. And because that has everything to do with how good they are at football and everything. The fact that Washington has tradition and Oregon doesn't. What the hell does that even have to do with anything? And what exactly defines having tradition? I mean, every school has tradition. And obviously, Washington's tradition is to be a bunch of douchebags and be delusional, thinking that your team is something that it's not, because it doesn't matter if you were good back in the 90s, because that's not now. What I define a program as is how good they're doing right now, this season, not last season, not the season before that, or 10 years ago. It's what you're doing now, and let's compare what's happening now. The Ducks are ranked number 1, and where's Washington at? That's right, they're what, 2 and or not 2 and 3, but they're like 3 and 5. Yeah, that's great subpar football again, just like the last like 7 or 8 of your seasons in a row, all subpar football. So you can't really bring that into the conversation, but just to humor it a little bit, I'll actually we'll look at the last 10 years of Pac-10 football, and we'll compare and see who the better team over the past 10 years has been. So let's look at Oregon's first. I went through the trouble of compiling some statistics here. Since 2000, Oregon's combined record is 95 and 38, which is a 71% winning percentage. That's pretty good. In those 10 years, they have had 1 losing season. They have been to 9 bowl games, of which they have won 4 of them. May not be the best bowl record ever in the history of the world, but two of those bowl games were BCS bowls. Possibly a third one, because I'm not positive whether it was or not. But one of them they won, and one of them they didn't. Obviously, everybody knows which one it wasn't, because it was the Rose Bowl last year. Whatever. In that 10-year span, the Ducks have 3 conference championships, one of which was a shared title in a 3-way tie, one of those teams was Washington. So, 95 and 38, that's pretty damn good. Now, let's look at Washington's last 10 years of football. Get ready, it's kind of funny. Washington over the past 10 years has won but a lowly 49 games So they, over the past 10 years, are 49 and 71, which is just a hair over 40%, which is failing if we're going by school grade wise. In that 10 years, they have had 3 winning seasons, of which only one of them was actually really that good. They have been to 3 bowl games, of which one of the one bowl game out of those 3 that they won happened to be a Rose Bowl. So I'll give you a nice little golf clap for that if you want. But that's not really that great. You have one conference championship, which was actually in a 3-way tie with Oregon and Oregon State and yourself. So, it's not even an outright title. It shows how much less credible it is. So, moving all that aside now, let's, instead of looking at the overall body of work, let's look at Oregon and Washington head-to-head over the past 10 years, of which, to my knowledge, out of the last 10 matchups, the Ducks have won 8 of them. And let's just think of it. Let's put it this way. Washington's last victory against the Ducks was in 2003. If that doesn't sum it up right there, I don't know what does. That means that, yes, they have not beaten us in 7 different attempts, of which is about to be 8 in about 11 hours. And since they beat us in 2003, the Huskies have failed to hold the Ducks to less than 31 points. So that means that they're allowing at least 30 points a game, which is, 4 touchdowns and a field goal. And of which most of those games, the Ducks have scored in the mid to high 40s, some of them in the 50s. My God. And that's just awful. That is awful defense. And that awful defense is coming from your defensive coordinator that I swear to God every time he's on the field, it looks like he just railed a line of cocaine because he's like running up and down the field yelling his fucking eyeballs out. It's really disturbing to watch. It's kind of upsetting, actually, because he's a douchebag. He just is. And then the thing that really, really bothers me is Jake Locker. And if I'm not mistaken, he hasn't taken Washington to a single winning season yet. And he's been touted to be this, huge, highly touted Heisman Trophy candidate, high NFL stock quarterback that really hasn't done anything. He's obviously not that great if he can't even lead his team to a winning season. His numbers aren't that astounding. He's really nothing special at all. Yet, he gets all this praise like he's just like some huge big shot. But now, it's actually starting to show what he is like. He's just pretty much a giant flop. Weird. And what makes things even worse is the fact that you have to play without him this week because he's hurt, like a little bitch. And now you have to play a freshman that has no experience playing your offense. And he's going to have to play in Autzen Stadium, which is way better than whatever the hell the name is of Washington Stadium. I don't even know what the hell it is. That's how pointless it is to me. So he has to play in Autzen Stadium against a huge crowd of people that want nothing more than to see Washington's team systematically dismantled on national TV in front of everybody so that they can laugh some more. So the way I see this game going is that Oregon's probably going to rack up about 62 points. 62, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, once the third string defense comes in, you might be able to muster up about 10 points. That's my guess. Oregon's superior conditioning, superior run offense, superior run defense, superior pretty much everything. I mean, let's be honest. Oregon as a program has been on the rise since like 1994, and since about 2000, Washington has been on the downslope. And you can say whatever you want, but the past does not transcend the future. That's just what it comes down to. So you can continue to say, well, Washington has more history, but like I just said, history is history. That's why they call it history. It happened a long time ago. And so I get really tired of Washington fans. They have to find something to talk shit about. Like I had a Washington fan just just a week or two ago tell me that because of the fact that I'm not enrolled at the University of Oregon, that I'm not allowed to be a fan of that team. Is that not the stupidest thing you've ever heard in your life? A, a fan that says because of the fact that I'm not enrolled in at the University of Oregon, that my fanship means nothing to that program, and the fact that he's enrolled at Washington, that his fanship means more to that school than what my fanship means to the school that I like. What crap is that? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. But none other than a Washington fan would bring that up because it means absolutely nothing and it makes no sense. And just earlier today, I was, perusing the internet and I came across a blog that a Washington fan has. And with, keeping in mind of how bad of a season Washington is having, this guy still has the balls to go out and call out the Ducks like, like it actually means something. It just like totally blew my mind. He was like saying, how Oregon, the whole Masoli thing, like we haven't heard that before. Boy, real original. And obviously, it doesn't really mean anything because Masoli is not even part of our school anymore. And we have a better quarterback, anyways, obviously, since we're number one. So, what's the point of even pointing that out? Big fucking joke, man. Big joke. So, anyways, I'm done wasting my time here talking about everything that's wrong with Washington. Your school is a joke. Not to, oh, speaking of being a joke, 2008, Washington becomes the only team in Pac-10 history. Yes, history. We're bringing up some more history. The only team in Pac-10 history to have a winless season, and they were also the only team in all of college football that year to not win a single game. And that, my friends, is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. No wonder why you've been playing the coaching carousel for the past decade or so. Because you guys really are that bad. I almost feel sorry for you. But I don't. So, about 11 hours and 21 minutes from now, you're going to see an absolute slaughterhouse. And I'm going to love every moment of it. Because I'm a Duck fan. And that's how that shit goes. So, your host, AMF, saying, see you later for now. And go Ducks. Fuck the Huskies. God, I can't wait to see them rack up 65 plus on you guys. It's going to be fucking awesome. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later.